Hey there, welcome back to my channel here at the Thrifty Journal Shop. My name is Amber, and today I just want to do a flip through of my art journal, glue book, trashy journal. I had made this a while back, and I think I shared it in a video. I'll link it down below. I had come across a lot of these larger style books, and I think this book, yeah, it's over 12 inches. I think it's about maybe 13 inches. And I love using these books. I love using the taller pages in journals because I love adding like full-size pages into my journals. And also for fussy cutting. But this was such a sweet book. I love Richard Scarry. I think he's a lot of people's favorite. His illustrations, the color in the books are just beautiful. And it's a big golden book. I didn't want to do anything to the pages, meaning I just wanted to leave the pages as they were. I didn't want to cover them up. So I thought, well, I'll add them to this book. So I just thought I'd take you on a flip through. So I've been watching other people's, flip throughs of their art journals and their mixed media. And I really love when people use like trash and packaging and recycle, they recycle their materials. And so Kristina, she's got a YouTube channel. It's called Kristina's Shack. I'll link it down below, but she is the creator of the hashtag Flip Through Friday. I love her channel. She's got a lot of cool stuff. And I actually found her, she has, I think the first video I watched of hers, she made a journal shaped as a shack. And I just thought it was like the coolest thing. And there's lots of other YouTube creators, and just there's so many creative people out there, not necessarily on YouTube. I mean, there's so many creators in this world, but YouTube is nice to find other creators. So anyway, let's take a flip through. Sorry for the glare of that ring light there. That's why I'm holding it up. A couple weeks back, I was pet sitting, house sitting. So I took this along with me, and I hadn't used it yet. And it was kind of nice because I can like step back from making journals, and I don't have my shop. I call my craft room my shop. So I don't have my shop. So I don't have all my materials, but I packed this journal, and I brought along these acrylic painter pens, and they're okay. I mean, it's not like acrylic paint. They're a little slow going because you have to really shake them, but I didn't want to bring my paint. So I brought these with me. I brought some colored pencils. I brought a few of my famous cake decorating books that I am in love with lately. And I brought this book along with me. One of my favorite thrift stores, they sell all their books for $1. And I loved this book. I read it, and it has a lot of really pretty pictures in here, and crafting and crocheting, and it's all using like recycled, reusing materials, which I think is really cool. And it had all these really cool pictures. Like, I still want to cut that one out. So I just had, a few things with me, which is kind of nice. And then I brought my, one of my scrap bins that I have, which is I just throw scraps in there. So then whatever food packaging I might have used that week, I thought, well, I'll add it to it and I'll just see where it goes. So this is where it went. So I'm going to show you what I did in that, 8-9 day span, and then what I've done since then. Like I mentioned, I wanted to leave the pages in this book just as they were. I might have stowed some fabric when I made the journal, but I didn't want to add anything to them. I really love this book because I'm in love with any children's books, especially when they're animal related. I just really gravitate towards them. That's why I love a lot of the little golden books. I love this book in particular because I love to be outside, and I like cabins, and I snowshoe, and I'm really into outdoorsy stuff. So this book it just kind of, talked to me. So I was like, I'm going to leave these pages as they were. So I added a pocket, and this is just a butterfly I drew. So I did bring along some colored pencils, and that week I was kind of in a drawing mood. It was so nice to just sit down in work in this. Sometimes just gluing. I don't know. I remember having glue books, although we didn't call them glue books. But when I was in high school and probably middle school, we always had to have like a pad of paper for each subject. And it wasn't necessarily the composition books, but it was like the ring bound that you tore out the paper with the frayed edges. And we never used the whole notebook. So what I would do, I'll cut up all my favorite magazines and glue things, and I remember keeping tickets and gluing stuff, drawing in them, just having a lot of fun with that. Nowadays, I don't really buy magazines, so I don't have a lot of magazines to cut up, but I'm going to pick up some here or there because I know I see them at thrift stores for free a lot of times, so I'll have to do that at some point. So I put a pocket here. So I did print out some pictures, and I don't do tons of memory keeping, but I do like to add pictures now and then, and I just printed it out on plain copy paper, nothing fancy. So here's the first page, and I just left it in the back here. And so here's a page I just did, and this is from that altered knit book that I brought with me, and I just cut out this image. And that book had all of these quotes in it, which I really liked. So it is better to fail in originality to succeed in imitation. And this was just, doing random collage. And here's another image from that book. And I think this was the center of that book, was the crown, the knitted crown. And here's another quote. There is only one of you in all this time. This expression is unique, and if you block it, it will never exist through any other medium and will be lost. I just loved all these quotes because they were for, someone who's a creative, an artist, a maker. And then I added a bunch of hearts. I was kind of in a heart mood. My mom had sent me Valentine's Day with some heart stickers and some owl stickers. And here's just a decoupage bird. Another quote from that book. The creative thinker is flexible and adaptable and prepared to rearrange his thinking. How true is that? So just playing around and just gluing, and not a whole lot of thought, which I love. And for me, it's very therapeutic and very relaxing. So here's a chair from that book. And I think what they did was they repurposed this cushion. I just thought it was beautiful with this bucket of yarn here. This was just some clipping out of like a newspaper out of the mail. This is off of something. It looked vintage, how it was already weathered. Here's a heart that I just cut out. Some napkin in the background. This was just from a food pamphlet in the mail. Roses are red, violets are blue, burgers and tots from us to you. And then here's a page. I've had some of these pictures in my journals. I've got this art craft book, and it's got all these beds from like the 1970s and maybe even the 60s. And I just love all the retro colors. So I just added this in here. This is the second page. And then here's another picture with the lights and this girl from that knit book. And it says, life shrinks or expands in proportion to one's courage. Then I just added my tea bags in that I was drinking that week, and more stickers. And then here's another image from that book. Let the beauty we love be what we do. And then here I just added a heart, and this was just out of a newspaper clipping. So I'm in love with this spread, these pages right here. It started out with, I was just going to recreate this cake in one of the cake decorating books. So I drew this cake with those acrylic marker pens. And then I just cut this out from inside the magazine, How to Say It with Flowers. I drew some butterflies and I drew some flowers. And this is just some brown packaging that came in a box. So I just reused it. Well, I had found a cake decorating book with this little bear in it, and I bought it just for this little bear. Plus, I loved all the cakes. And then a couple of my cake magazines had the same thing. Well, when I was one, so my first birthday, my mom got me this cake, this exact same Panda Bear. And I'm looking to see if I can get the pictures from that, have my dad print them out for me, and then I'll probably recreate another page for my first birthday. But my mom said that I just sat there for a long time, and I just, patted the bear's head. I'd never had sugar. And she said I didn't even really dig in for a while. And then I finally like got some of the frosting. So I found that. And then I thought, okay, I'm going to recreate that cake. And it just so happened there was another image in one of these cake decorating magazines with the bear inside the wagon. Now my cake wasn't inside the wagon, but I thought I'll recreate that. So I drew the bear and I cut out the wagon, and I think right here it said Bobby. So I just wrote Amber. It said Panda is coming to the party. And then this says 1976 should be an exciting year. And that was the year I was born. And then it just so happened my mom sent me these like patriotic stars. And 1976, I was a bicentennial baby. So yeah, I had fun with that page. So just started out with something, led to something else. That's what I love. Just another picture from that magazine with the knitted sweater and a butterfly. And then this is just a random page of different things that I probably ate that week that I was sitting. Some coffee, some cheese, some guacamole, just some scraps and junk on there. And then this is just a random page. This is just all a bunch of different scraps from cutting down papers that I've been making journals with. So I just added those and added some hearts and just played around with all the color. I did add some bird book pages in this book, and knowing that I just wanted to leave the picture and not cover it up. So that's one of them. And then this page is once again just a bunch of different scraps. I added a sticker, another quote, an essential aspect of creativity is not being afraid to fail. And these two women out of that book, I think the scarf or the shawl was something that was knitted, and I think her purse, maybe her skirt. It says, my heart beats for you. This was just out of a newspaper. And then I left this page. I really just think these pictures are beautiful. And then look at this little canister. I mean, these would be great for fussy cutting. And I think that's the dad bear wearing a pink robe. And then here is just my packaging for my pecans and a bird. And I just put some banana stickers. And then in here, I made a tag from some junk. And just here's one of my decoupage birds. And so I just stuck that in there. And here's like a Valentine's Day page. I got a card from my mom with those stickers, and here's some tea. I just thought it was pretty with the pink. And then here's a card with the sweet little cat. This is from my boyfriend. So I put that on there. Love the kitty cat. Didn't do much with this page. I just glued some stenciled paper on. I still have to do something with this page. This page, I just put another stenciled page and then added some stickers. I was in a sticker mood too. And I was in a butterfly drawing mood. So I drew a butterfly and colored it in with some colored pencils. So here's another one of my favorite pages. It's so whimsical and bright. And I love pinks. I just love color. Some of this was done while I was pet sitting, but most of it I've done since I've been home. In fact, I finished this page last night. I was in a drawing mood while I was pet sitting. So I drew this balloon, and then I didn't know what I was going to do with it. So I thought, well, I'll make a sky. So I did just use my acrylic pens, which took forever to do the blue background and the green. And then I just started adding to it. Here is just tissue paper that I made into clouds. And then I just took random stickers, butterflies. I added some flowers down here, a rabbit. I don't know if that's a porcupine. And then here, these were fun to make, just scraps of paper. And then I did cut up my silk flowers, just very whimsical and pretty. This is my acrylic paper. And so I just had some scraps. So I had printed out some pictures just on copy paper. Like I said, I stuck them in the front pocket. And this was one of the ones I printed out. And this is me and my bear dog. He's no longer with me. I love this picture. He was one of my best buddies. I rescued him. I mean, every animal I've owned has been a rescue, but I miss him dearly. I've just recently been able to journal about my pets. It's, if any of you know, and I'm sure you do, grief is kind of a weird, funny thing. Not to get sad, but it's very hard. And a lot of times you have to sit in the grief to work through it. And, I tried to journal for about him and about my other animals, and I couldn't for the longest time. But I feel like I can now. This is Jazz, and I lost him after Bear, and he was my best friend. He was the first dog that I owned as an adult. We always had dogs and cats growing up as a kid, but he was my first that I ever had as an adult. And I got him as a puppy, and his name was Jazz. I think I lost him 2 years ago, and I can finally talk without crying. I've been wanting to make a journal about him, and I just couldn't do it. Every time I tried to, I would get sad. He was just such a beautiful soul. So that's Jazz. So you might see him more because he's going to be in journals. And at some point, I'd like to share a journal that I worked on while I was grieving him. And I didn't really even realize that I was using that journal for grief, but it was about animals, and it's a really beautiful journal. I'm going to share that soon too with my Friday flip through. It might be a couple Fridays because it's pretty big. Journaling can be very therapeutic. I think we all know that. So this is Jazz. So this is just a beautiful picture, a beautiful memory of Bear. He was always kind of glued to me. And he always made me smile. So, okay, so that's this whimsical page. And like I said, usually I don't really have direction and I just kind of go with it. Here's another really fun page. So this is how I feel when I wake up in the morning. I'm going to switch gears and laugh because I was almost crying there. But this is how I feel when I wake up in the morning. I get up and I go out and I make my decaf coffee, and I'm surrounded by nature. I live out in the country, which I absolutely love. But it's funny because the deer are always out, and I hear coyotes at night. I feed the birds. I've got sandhill cranes out there. I've got Canadian geese flying over. In the morning, I can hear the doves. I have rabbits living underneath my porch. So right now, I don't have dogs or cats because all of my animals have passed. But I have my nature friends, and so they bring me joy and they bring me happiness. I do see owls every once in a while I'm out on my bike, and there's ladybugs in here. And then here's just one of my houses I like to make. And then here's some leaves I got at the dollar store, the puffy leaves. I did draw the deer. So there's that. And then you flip it over, and here's an image. I think this is from a Richard Scarry book too. And the wolf is inside. I just glued that there. And then this is from another one of the large golden books. And I just thought this was really pretty. And so I put another one of my little houses and put some acorns and glued some random birds, made some clouds out of some security envelopes. And then I just cut this out. Wind, I heard the wind in the corn and it rustled. There's corn down here, and there's another rabbit. This was just off some packaging, Alice's Cottage. I thought that was really pretty with the bird. So yeah, so this is just a nature related page, and this is my backyard. Here's another page from one of these large books, and I loved the Eyes at Night, Eyes in the Night. And there's a little poem here. Pretty simple page, just some more tea and stickers and my coffee. And this is like my conditioner, the coconut oil. I thought that was just a pretty packaging. Just some washi, banana sticker. Here's one of my altered paper bags that I made. So there's a pocket here, and then there's a pocket here. So I don't know what I'm going to put in there yet, but I glued that on there. I did some hand stitching right there and some fabric and a button. So this page already had like a winter background. So I thought, okay, I'm going to add some more mountains, and then I'm going to add some more of my houses. This was a house from another book that I cut out, Here's some deer that I just cut out from somewhere, a bear sticker, another little bear I found, and another house. And it said, then Honey Paw snuggled warm and snored in a sleep so deep, her heart beat so slow, you might think she'd sleep forever. And that was just out of a book. I thought that was kind of cool. Then these pages I did today. So in my drawing phase, I was drawing butterflies and deer and balloons. And so I was drawing ladybugs and thinking spring, 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 spring. So here's some more of my acrylic paper that I made yesterday. And I just put a sticker, another quote from that book. No great discovery was ever made without a bold guess. Just some more scraps, spring, a cutout. We're ready for spring. And that is all I've got. So I still have this all in this signature. And then I've got all of this signature, but a lot of these pages, like this page, I won't cover. I might even leave this page how it is because they're just so pretty. I'll probably cover this side. It is getting chunky. You know, it's kind of a learning curve here. I think I can always, this is a chain stitch, so if I wanted to, I could, you know, cut this and make the spine fatter if I wanted to and just re-stitch it. I can always deconstruct something and then reconstruct it, but this will probably be just fine. I don't mind if it gets chunked out at all. Well, thank you for joining me. I just thought I would jump on here and share a flip through, and I'm going to try to make a habit of maybe doing more flip through Fridays and flipping through this journal. And I'd like to share my healing, I call it my spirit animal journal because it helped when I was kind of grieving for my pets. So I'd like to share that. And I hope this gave you some inspiration. Leave a comment down below on how you use glue booking, or how you use it for therapy, or just to maybe unwind after the day or de-stressor. You know, a lot of times at night, I don't really care for TV, but if you're sitting there maybe with your husband or your significant other and you just, you want to work on something, a lot of times just gluing is just really like a stress-free, you don't have to think too much, kind of therapeutic way. Okay, friends, I hope you enjoyed this. If you like everything you've been seeing, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment, like, share, do all the things. Get outside and enjoy yourself. It's been sunny here. I hope it's sunny where you're at. Most importantly, get some time to create and glue today. All right, I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.